Hello everyone, it's me Pavlo and I've got a soothingly warm daily dose of Ukrainian accent for you. Today we are going to talk about really interesting portable DAC, Muse HiFi M3 Ultra. Device created with main goal in mind to provide the possibility to experience this portable tube sound for as less money as possible. Its price is $110. Link to the HiFi Go shop will be in the description under this video. And Gen mini tubes became pretty popular recently. Gen means Joint Army Navy, so these small tubes were created for military usage and for battery-powered device. Unsurprisingly, they made their way in the portable audio because reliability and efficient work from the pretty weak power sources is exactly what's needed in this area. And we've seen many devices with these tubes, but usually they are much more expensive. I reviewed some of them, like Kane Ru 9 and 3 Ultra and some others, but Muse HiFi decided to make their portable DAC as affordable as possible. They took Saber 9028Q2M as DAC, then go two of that tubes to provide all that harmonics and smoothness, and then main amplifier that delivers up to 480 milliwatts for 32 ohms load. At the end, we're getting a pretty interesting and capable device that we are going to talk about. Despite a pretty affordable price, Muse HiFi invested some efforts into creating a nice unboxing experience. You can see package is made of nice cardboard with stylish polygraphy, and it opens like matchbox this way. Inside you're getting some spacers and manual, and underneath you basically getting device itself and a really nice USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. So let's remove this outer film and take a look. So here it is. It's not as big as I thought by photos, but at the same time it's not super compact. But still I think it's a pretty portable device, especially if you want tube sound. You can see that they've implemented interesting schema to locate tubes inside to provide nice ventilation for heat dissipation, and also they've invested nice efforts into dampening microphonics. They have specially developed silicone suspension for these tubes and some internal electronic schema. So overall design looks nice. I think that you need to be a bit cautious and to avoid some hits to these tubes and getting water on them, but I think in regular everyday usage it's unlikely you will damage them. And these tubes have a really long lifetime based on specs, so they are not replaceable, but I'm pretty sure that they won't be an issue. Their lifetime won't be an issue if everything will go well. And in terms of work, everything is simple. You connect it to transport from one side, you connect single-ended or balanced headphones from the other side. It has independent volume control, and that's basically it. So it doesn't have any built-in battery, so it will use your device for powering, but it's just the way it works. So overall, in terms of all external stuff, it looks nice. I also was a bit afraid that it will be prone to some interference, but I did some tests with my smartphone during active streaming via Wi-Fi and cellular, but I didn't experience any issues. Maybe it depends on the Wi-Fi network and the cellular band that your phone is using, but I didn't have any problems with that. So my only real complaint, I'd like to see these captions a bit smaller. If you are interested in exact measurements of power consumption, you can see themselves on the screen right now. I'm using Noble Audio Han as earphones for load, and I set volume to comfortable level for me, as I'm always doing measuring power consumption. In this segment about $100, we have tons and tons of different dongle DACs, and Muse HiFi wisely decided that they need to make something different to stand out from the rest of crowd, and they put this Gen small tubes. And they built a sound around these tubes. So on one hand, we have ESS Sabre digital to analog converter. On the other hand, we have also Sabre amplifier that delivers up to 480 milliwatts of power. But in between, we have these tubes that add this distinct coloration. So this dongle created with that analog worms and lush tube sound in mind. Of course, it won't give you that full experience of some expensive, huge tube amplifier with separate transformers to drive all that tubes. Of course, no, here we're talking about the reduced scope and size, but at the same time, it definitely gives you that warmth and organic sense. So don't expect it to be natural, super resolving or something like that. No, it's created for coloration and it does it great and in really enjoyable manner. So bass is pretty deep and it's slightly shifted towards extra weight and warmth. It's not trying to be super fast, but at the same time detalization is nice and the texturing is done with a slight exaggeration to give you a bit of additional wow factor. It's not super fast and punchy, but at the same time this mellow tones, these smooth transitions are really pleasant to hear. And at the end of the day, of course, it's still technical enough to give you pretty realistic type of sound. So let's talk about examples. First one is Caravan from the Whiplash original soundtrack. And this dongle delivers the mids and treble really nicely, but at the same time it slightly emphasizes that deep bassy sections of that big orchestra that performs here, slightly shifting your center of attention, but it gives a bit of extra foundation to this tune, which sounds really pleasant. And Mindfields by the Prodigy, big, juicy, powerful bass, but at the same time, it's really nice in terms of mid and weight, but still it leaves enough space for the mid frequencies and treble to give the rest of instruments their place too. Mid frequencies are focused around emotions and macro dynamics. Detalization is nice, but of course M3 Ultra doesn't try to go deep into the micro contrast, but still it delivers good amount of details for instruments to sound in a realistic manner. It's not super critical for the quality of records, but beta masterings will be really a huge plus for this device because it doesn't like overly warm records. But it delivers really good details on the vocal and it's great in creating sense of epicness, fast transitions, and all that macro things. Female vocals are really highlighted, saturated with emotions. Male vocals getting a bit of additional velvety and smoother feeling. Imaginary stage is pretty big and it's surprising because I expected from a warmly colored device, I expected stage to be smaller and more intimate, but no, you're getting here really nice. Maybe not super huge, but really well built stage. Probably it's Sabre play its role, I'm not sure, but it's a really nice and pleasant device in this aspect. So, first example for the mid frequencies, it's Alive but Dead by Rage, and I really like Black and Mind album. It's pure, powerful metal with a really forward manner, and it has a pretty nice epic start with really low hitting notes, and they are super overwhelming here because of this extra weight, and the overall bass and the floor drum sounding slightly on the boosted and highlighted side of things, but it's not overdone. It's not kind of type of warmth that makes everything indistinguishable. Instead, you're getting a bit of that classical vintage audio feel with extra smoothness, but at the same time nice punch. Vocal is emotional, guitars are not super aggressive, but still delivering enough of rage. And the track where this device absolutely shines, it's Louis Armstrong, Go Down Moses. It's basically a device created for such type of music, extra velvety and weighty vocal with all that nuances and characteristics, slightly boosted orchestra. Everything is just engaging and super emotional and fun. Treble here is surprisingly well balanced. It's not too forward, not too laid back, it's not dominating, it's not harsh and airy type of high frequencies, but at the same time I won't call it laid back or softened. No, it's just a really good treble with proper attacks and decays. Maybe a bit less amount of energy is put here in high frequencies than in average, but just a tiny bit. It has nice extension. Of course, layering is super basic here, but overall overtone saturation is really nice, and it's a kind of high frequencies that nicely fit into overall sound signature of the device. Muse HiFi could have made it softer to make a more analog feeling, but in this case we've lost a lot of airiness, spaciousness, and probably we've lost that spacious stage. They could boost high frequencies to give you that pseudo detalization, but probably it would ruin a bit of mid and bass magic, so they decided not to do anything specific with treble, let it be the way it is, and it's just fit into its place with nice click. Of course, I mean not real click, just some imaginary click, and it's basically enough to give you all that nuances, but not to grab your attention from the mid and low frequencies. And the first example will be the Letters by King Crimson. Lot of nuances, lot of different three-dimensional effects. Of course, something with better layering would be better fit for this track, but still, thanks to that great dynamics on the mid frequencies, treble playing a bit of accompanying role, but still enough to give you all that nuances that you need. And John Coltrane, Moment's Notice, with typical Delta Sigma DAC in this segment. Usually this track sounds a bit on the limit of being sharp and forward, because it's recorded this way, and all instruments are really close to that threshold. But here it's just like moved a little bit down in terms of forwardness, and it sounds detailed but not overwhelming, and really enjoyable and complementing the overall track. This dongle is powerful enough to drive vast majority of full-size headphones. From the balanced output, it delivers up to 480 milliwatts, which is pretty nice figures. Of course, it's not created for things like tough-to-drive planars or super high-impedance models, but vast majority of full-size headphones it will drive without any issues. With sensitive IEMs, I didn't experience any noticeable noise, but there is a warning on the HiFi Go website that there can be some slight background noise with earphones that have piezoelectric, bone conductor, or electrostatic drivers. That's why I took Noble Audio Han. It has piezoelectric driver, but it doesn't have any issues. So I didn't experience anything with them that I can point my finger or call like something that stand out. But still keep this in mind. Overall, I'd say that with all lot I've tried, it behave pretty well. Speaking about the comparisons, actually, there is no devices I can compare it to because it stands out from regular dongle DACs we have in this segment because of this unique tube signature. And it's not much sense in comparing it with more expensive device like Muse HiFi M3 Ultra, I don't know, Kane Rune 9 and stuff like that. They are more expensive and they usually offer more sound modes, they offer solid state options, they offer usually some options that is tube but less tube than traditional. But here we have just one mode, but at the same time it's just $110. And for this price, I'd say that it has a super great value if you want to get that fun and colored sound signature. Basically, it's just the simplest and easiest way to try something unusual, something that is gone there its unique way. So my recommendations, if you're looking for something like this, it's just, you know, true value without any bells and whistles, just created just to give you a tubish colored sound and does it really well. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.